Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 Royal Navy battleship, the Conqueror. We're playing a match on the map Loop, and it is a fully Tier 10 battle. With CVs and all, because everybody loves playing with aircraft carriers. And thus matchmaking obliges and makes our dreams become reality. So, today I'm trying to do the directive mission, which makes me have to deal 55,000 fire damage, and because I've tried this a few times and was unsuccessful, well, I'm going to try harder and I'm going to ignore the other stuff that is unrelated to dealing fire damage. So, you know, things such as shooting at destroyers and whatnot, because after all, this is what everybody else does when these directives are live, and I'm sure Wargaming has taken this into account when they made these kinds of directives, right? Right, guys? Anyway, that's what we're going to do, because we do want to have the 55k fire damage directive eventually done. And luckily, as in a tier 10 battle, with this many battleships, this is actually possible. I spawned on the western side and headed over here, and actually I'm kinda lucky on that front, because it does seem that the enemy battleships are heading mostly in this direction. I mean, we have a Kurfürst here, a Thunderer, and the Conqueror seems to also be heading over here. Whereas the other side has what, a Montana? I don't know, sounds great, at least for dealing fire damage. I started out with getting a double fire on the Kurfürst, which is actually worse than getting a single fire, because the GK is always going to use damage control party on the double fire, which means that I'm gonna deal 0 fire damage. If it was a single fire though, maybe I would have done some fire damage because she would not have used the Damacon. And now, as a follow-up, I can't do any follow-up because the GK is invisible, and thus I cannot set a second fire. So instead I'm forced to shoot at this piddly Hindenburg, and I don't even get a fire on her. But even if I did, she would have damage control party available, and that wouldn't add up to much fire damage anyway. So, we do need to find ourselves some bigger, stronger, fatter targets that have more HP than a piddly Hindenburg with his 52,000 HP. It's not even 52,000, I mean, what is that? Fire damage for ants? Anyway, I'm also on fire, which is fine, because I have Adrenaline Rush, and I have a Super Heal, which means that my reload is faster, so it's easier for me to set more fires to deal more fire damage. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that because this is a CV battle, I cannot go out alone on a flank, because the CV will eventually realize that I'm over there on my own on that flank, and then she'll come strike me. And then she'll come strike me again. And then she'll come strike me again. And again. And again. And again. And again. And eventually a Conqueror's heals do run out, so that's when I would sink, and that will make me quite sad, because when you sink you can't deal any more fire damage, which is counterproductive. Oh, hello, that's a Kleber. Sadly, you can't deal much fire damage to a Kleber, so we are not interested in shooting a Kleber. We're looking to shoot that Conqueror for some more fire damage. Also, the Kleber's torpedo range is what, 8 kilometers? So if I hit the map border I should be fine, right? The torpedo should be unable to reach me. Because she was kind of far away already, so it should be okay. We're also waiting for some spotting on one of the other battleships. Sadly, our CV is on the other side of the map, as are our destroyer. It's both of them, because despite the fact that the Kleber spawned over here, she decided to still go over there. Wait, these torpedoes, I think they're not actually gonna run out. Oh god. Well, I guess this is what you call boosting your adrenaline rush even further. I'm gonna use a heal anyway though, because we can't fire at anything, so the faster reload is kinda wasted. Hello? Anyone here? No? Absolutely no one? Are you guys sure? Okay, I guess nobody is here, despite the fact that they have 3 battleships over here. We actually only have 2. So technically the enemy has fewer battleships on the rest of the map that can actually, you know, play the game. I mean, look, we have a Hindenburg, a Zao, a Yamato, and a Conqueror. They have a Grosse Kurfürst, Thunder, a Conqueror, a Klebe over here. And they had a Hindenburg. So technically, you know, we're tying up more forces than we actually are using over here. So this is all good, because this means that on the rest of the map, my team should win. Especially since we have actually, you know, the CV isn't even involved over here, so there's not even that aspect. So eventually we will extricate ourselves from this map border. I really don't understand why they needed to change the map border, because clearly it can't be for balance reasons, right? Because everybody can use the map border just the same. And I mean, this is literally an arbitrary border in the middle of the sea. Why? Like, I could just keep sailing in the real world, right? I could just keep sailing as far away as I need to sail. But nope, there's a map border I can hit, and that makes my ship not only behave in a weird way, it also slows her down. And this means that there's less skill involved. Anyway, I don't want to get too close to this Grosse Kurfürst. She does have secondaries, and the Conqueror's hull is not the most well armored against the secondary salvo. She fired AP at me for a nice 2 overpens, thank you. And we will try to set her on fire because, hey, we're looking to deal more fire damage here. I'm on fire too, but that's okay, because if my ship is on fire, that means my shell should be even more on fire, right? So they have a higher chance of dealing fire damage, right? That's how it works, no? No? What do you mean it doesn't work that way? What do you mean? If my shells are on fire, and then in addition to what they have inside the fire stuff, shouldn't they have a higher chance of starting fires? Come on. Come on, guys. Anyway, I have 2 fires, so I do need to damage it. I'm boosting my adrenaline rush a little bit too much at this point. I might have to try to moderate it a little bit, because when you reach 0 HP, while you're at maximum adrenaline rush boost, you can't actually fire your gun, so it's kinda useless, you know? Anyway, let's see, maybe we'll get another fire, because I'm gonna be unspotted when firing, like so. Come on. Yes, we got a fire. Maybe we'll actually deal fire damage this time. Well, we were also set on fire, and we have 3,700 HP, 3,400, 200, 2,900, 2,700, 2,500, 2,200. But we have the ability to reprint our ship, so we are going to do that, and this is going to absolutely out-heal the fire damage we're taking, and we can just ignore it. While we do that, we will put more distance between us and the red ship, so that we can utilize our adrenaline rush better, and so that we can actually fire over these stupid islands. It does appear that the Yamato wishes to disengage here as well, or maybe she does it because I am doing so. Regardless what reason it is, we are disengaging from over here. To some degree. I've done some fire damage. I mean, I just set a fire on the Conqueror, which is great, because Conquerors probably are going to let single fires run, because they have a super heal. Luckily I didn't set 2 fires, I only set 1. And we might be able to set this GK on fire again. I mean, we only have 7 fires. It's, what, 10 minutes into the game? What is this? I thought Conqueror was supposed to have a good fire chance. Luckily, it does seem that our team is winning on the rest of the map. They've sank 4, we've sank 3. Well, actually, we've sunk 1 over here. So, technically, the rest of the team has only sank 3. But we should be able to, you know, have this side as well. That Conqueror, or that GK is fairly low HP. Yeah, I'm not the healthiest either, but that GK has a lot more base HP than I do. And she's on fire again. Thunder fired at me, but no dice. We also hold... Oh, Wither! This means I've done my 55k fire damage, isn't it? Well, why don't we try for another 50k? Because more fire damage is better, right? If you outperform, you get rewarded more than normal, right? Isn't that how it works? No, it isn't? Why not? Anyway, we got another fire. This unfortunately made the GK use the Damacon, although I suppose she would have used it anyway when she was available. And we can actually shell into the middle of the map. I try placing some random shots on the Kleber, maybe she'll continue reversing, and maybe I'll get lucky with those, but probably not. My hopes are not very high on that one. Yeah, they already missed. But that's okay. Any little bit helps, and hey, I mean, we're technically making that Thunderer basically unable to engage anything. Well, at least us. And that GK is also quite far away. You know what? You know how far that GK is? I've been trying to do this mission quite a few times, and I noticed that in quite a few matches, battleships were very happy to simply engage at 20 plus kilometers. Which is kind of bizarre, because that's not usually what you see. Sure, there will be some battleships that engage at 20 kilometers, but I saw engagement ranges of 22 to 24 kilometers quite regularly. And like no battleship actually wanted to get closer, and it kind of baffled me. I don't think I've seen that before, and this happened quite a few matches in a row. Although maybe it happens more often than, you know, I'm used to. It's just that usually I'm gonna be closer, so maybe some other ships will follow me as well. And it's kind of difficult for the enemy to be more than 20 kilometers away from me if I'm less than 20 kilometers away from them, right? Anyway, we're definitely winning. We have, well, technically I guess we only have one cap zone, but we are capping the A cap, and their Kleber is meeting a Smolensk, and we all know how it goes when you meet the Smolensk. Ooh, the Yamato actually fired on the Kleber. Well, she is kinda screwed. Oh, she actually ran aground. Let's try to take a shot then. Although I don't think that's going to have much success, but hey, maybe we can secure a kill. Nope, Montana managed to do so. And now the Z-52 takes the A cap, then she can go over to take the B cap, and it'll be great. And hopefully we can sink this Grossekofest as well. So, it's been 13 minutes and 30 seconds, we have 9 fires so far. Hopefully we can gain some more at this point. Because there's another directive that requires you to get lots of fires in. And I think that one isn't limited to a single game. That Thunder is still behind an island from us and unable to engage. Wow. It's like he's trying to play a Ring Around the Rosie. Ooh, double fire, which means Damacon, right? Yep, that meant Damacon, so no fire damage from that one. But maybe the next salvo will get another fire. Who are we kidding? The next salvo never gets a fire. But at this point, I think closing the distance between, you know, towards the battleships is gonna be okay. I only have a single heal left anyway, so it's not like I would be wasting too much when going in. Oh, I actually did get a fire though, so I suppose I am gonna deal some fire damage. So, Conqueror is the next target. Oh, Arsonist. Excellent. Well, we did burn her down, I suppose. She did take quite a lot of fires from us. So I guess now it's time to go after the Conqueror, because the Thunder is probably gonna hide behind islands anyway. Yeah, see? That's exactly what I mean. And Conqueror should be rather willing to let at least singular fires run. But I mean, the game's kinda over, so maybe not. But we're definitely winning. We have 2 of the 3 cap zones. Yeah, sure, their Z-52 is taking the C cap, but I don't think it's going to change anything. We have a Hindenburg near the C cap as well, so it might actually even go worse for the destroyer than simply not being able to take the cap. Or at least not being able to hold on to it. We're gonna win in 2 minutes by points, but I do think we're gonna be able to sink some ships more, at least. Montana and Thunderer are doing a close encounter, so one of them is probably gonna get dev struck, or however much HP they have left. Right? Because that's usually what... Wait, what? Wait, they passed and neither died? What is this? What is this? Okay, well, that's fine. In fact, that's actually good. Oh, and Thunder actually fired on the Montana as well. And the Montana sank from that. Oh, never mind. I meant Conqueror fired on the Montana as well, but no, the Thunder actually did sink her. Well, that's actually good news, because it means that we gained, or we lost points, so we take longer to lose, and this means we get to deal more fire damage. I mean, we have a nice 2 fires going on this Conqueror. Wait, she's firing AP? What? Why? You're a Conqueror, your AP doesn't do anything against battleships. Come on. Well, I guess technically that did do something, but not as much as the HE plus fires. I'm gonna try to hit the... Well, I wanted to say the stern portions of the ship, but nope. She is already gone. 2 fires, no less. I guess you can't... Can you get multiple Arsonists in a single game? Maybe I didn't deal enough fire damage. Probably didn't. Anyway, now we can do a few more salvos on the Thunderer. Maybe we'll get... Wait a minute. Is that the... That's the CV. Oh! You know what? This means more adrenaline rush, doesn't it? Because if I take damage, that means that my HP gets lower, so my reload gets faster, so I'm more likely to deal more fire damage. Excellent! Come here, CV. Torpedoes, come here, let's turn into them. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, I might have to actually use Damek on here, though, because my engine did get broken, and I do need to maneuver a little bit. Yeah, I need to Damek on this engine, because I need to slow down. Because I need to clear the little rock on top of that island, or I guess the Thunder has to clear the rock, so that I can actually fire on her. Come on, 10 seconds to win. 6. Come on, shells, 5. Please, shells, please, please, please. 1 second. No, so close yet so far away. I'm sure I would have detonated the Thunderer with that salvo. I'm sure of it. I know it in my bones that she would have detonated from this salvo. Well, anyway, we were victorious, and I do think we managed to finish the 55k fire damage mission. So now we simply have to wait for the match results. Any day. Oh. I guess we're not getting any match results today. I guess we did so much fire damage that the game refuses to give us the match results. No, we didn't play Friesland. That was another game. No, we didn't play the Thunder either. Oh, there it is. It only took 30 seconds to show us the match results. Anyway, we got an Arsonist, Dreadnought, Fireproof, Witherer, and we managed to finish the mission for fire damage. And we actually came 4th. I mean, I can understand it. 220k damage, sure. But we did basically only fire at battleships. I mean, we literally ignored the destroyer to shoot at more battleships, right? But we did actually finish the 55k fire damage directive. These directives are really stupid, but they are what we get, so that's what that's what we have to deal with. 18 fires. 18 fires in a single battle. What was the other directive? Was it 25 fires like total? Oh, 99k fire damage. Well, I guess this means that next time Wargaming is gonna make the fire damage mission be 75k, right? Because then there's a 25k cap. Look at this Conqueror. This Conqueror took 59,000 fire damage from me and 65,000 HE from HE shells. Jesus. Imagine playing a battleship and you take 59,000 fire damage from one ship. One ship. Wow. That must be infuriating. So, großer Kurfürst, Mr. KHS01, you're welcome. So, let's take a look at the upgrades and commander skills on my Conqueror. So, I went with Priority Target, Expert Marksman. Expert Marksman is super important. In fact, I actually have Jack Dunkirk on the Conqueror because it has the better Expert Marksman. Then Superintendent, then Concealment Expert, and the rest is Adrenaline Rush, fire prevention, and basic survivability. Now, these skills aren't actually the greatest on the Conqueror. I don't know if there are actually better ones, if I'm honest. These might still be the best ones available, but you don't need them because you have a super heal, and you aren't as susceptible to fires as, well, almost any other battleship. And so fire prevention and basic survivability aren't quite as important on this ship. I think if I didn't use this command, Captain on the Thunderer as well, I might actually drop one of these or the other one. Like maybe I would switch basic survivability to survivability expert, because you can actually, the amount of HP your ship has is what the heal is determined upon. So this wouldn't only give you 3500 HP, it would give you, 3500 based on whatever the heals are higher because of the survivability expert. This is what I used to use, but it's kind of a toss-up which one is better in most games. And so, because I use this Captain on the Thunder as well, obviously basic survivability makes more sense. But yeah, you don't you don't need these two as much as you do on all the other battleships. But the rest of the skills are what I would use. Upgrades wise, obviously use reload. You don't need range at all. You have an insane amount of range even without it. And I don't recommend the skill. This seems... Why would you take this? I don't know, but apparently maybe it makes sense in certain situations, but in random battles, no. In the 5th slot, I use the legendary upgrade on the Conqueror. This makes her kind of like the Thunderer in that it increases her turret traverse and massively increases her rudder shift. I mean, my rudder shift right now is 10.4 seconds. In fact, I've thought of dropping this fire thing to go for a double rudder. This would give you like a, what is that, 8-something second rudder? That's literally cruiser level. Like, that's a really good rudder shift. And because you have a super heal, you don't need to worry as much about fires anyway, or floodings. So this isn't as big of a loss. In fact, I think this kind of a switch would be a good idea. In the 3rd slot, I actually don't know now. So you can either go dispersion, or you can go better rudder or turret traverse. And I am somewhat uncertain which one is the better choice. Right now I'm playing with the dispersion, because obviously better dispersion is always going to be better. But maybe the turret traverse might help you, especially if you don't have the legendary upgrade, which, already improves your turret traverse. Maybe this turret traverse one is actually better. Well, that's something to try out, I suppose. 2nd slot is damage control, and 3rd slot is obviously main armaments modification. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Noshiro, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.